Okay, today we're not going to talk about politics or government or current affairs or anything. Today I want to talk about a person who was very near and dear to me who died recently. It was my Aunt Egg. She died at the age of 86 up in Beaver County, where I grew up. And many people who know me, I always say that I was very lucky and very fortunate to have a great childhood. I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters, had a big family, and my dad, he was a tool and die guy, worked at the mill, so we didn't always have a lot of money, but we had each other and we had a lot of fun. And we'd go to the swimming pool and we'd go to Kennywood every summer and stuff and just had a great time. But it wasn't just our family, because my mother, she came from a big family herself, and I had probably about there was all these cousins, and between my mother's side and my dad's side, we had somewhere in the neighborhood of like 35, 36 cousins. And since everybody still lived there, not everybody lived in Monaca, but it was still Beaver County, so we were always getting together, and it was just always a lot of fun, and a lot of good times. And Aunt Egg and her husband Uncle Jim were a big part of that. They were just always real good people, real loving people. They had 7 kids of their own. They kind of lived at the other end of Monaca, and our Catholic school was up there, and my grandmother lived with them. So a lot of times after school and stuff, we'd go up there, and it was just a great place. I mean, you'd go up there, there was always a lot of food, and a lot of support, and a lot of encouragement. And and Egg and Uncle Jim, they were just very good people. We had a fire at our house when I was growing up, and 3 of my sisters ended up going to live with Aunt Egg and Uncle Jim for a couple months till we could get our house together. And it was just something that they did, and there really wasn't like much talk about it, or they didn't brag or anything. It was just something kind of matter of fact. One summer when we were growing up too, they took, keep in mind, they had 7 kids of their own, and they took me and my brother up to Geneva on the Lake, which at that time was a big deal, and we just had a real good time. And that was something that always just kind of remembered. And the thing about it was like you could always count on a lot of support from Aunt Egg and Uncle Jim and the whole family and everything. If you needed a pat on the back, they were there. But the one thing they didn't tolerate was feeling sorry for yourself. If you start complaining or whatever, well, there was no room for any complaining, and you'd be soon told that quit your whining and stuff. And probably part of that was because the way that my mother grew up in her family, and just a lot of tragedy, really. And it's amazing that things that they still had the attitude that they did. My grandfather died in it was a mill accident, and my grandmother was left. She'd come over here from Ireland when she was 17 years old, and now here she was in their mid-30s, and she had 8 kids and no husband. So, but somehow she made it. She did all kind of things for the church. She took in laundry. They had people stayed with them and that sort of thing. And somehow they made it, and they never complained about how tough they had it or whatever. And that wasn't the end of it. One of my mother's sisters, she was I think 8 or 10, something like that. Her clothes caught on fire, or blanket or something, and here she ended up dying in this fire. Again, another tragedy. Then World War II, my Uncle Joe, he was killed in World War II. And again, it was something, that kind of growing up and stuff, like they just never dwelled on any of these kinds of things. It was just always, forward march and that type of thing. In fact, sometimes I wish that maybe I had known a little bit more about my grandfather or about my uncle, but pretty much any time they were brought up, you talked about it a little bit, fondly remembered and everything, but it was much more, the focus was always much more on tomorrow, what you were going to do tomorrow and stuff. There really wasn't any dwelling on the past or whatever. And just it was a great atmosphere to grow up in, and just always trying to do better and trying to do better for yourself and stuff. And so, like I said, it was just a great atmosphere to grow up in, and the importance of families and families sticking together and staying together through thick and thin. And my mother and my Aunt Egg, they were the closest sisters that you could ever imagine. And they were on the phone all the time, probably 2 or 3 times a day, always talking back and forth, and never a crossword between them, never any fights or disagreements or whatever. Just a really great relationship. So it was very good to see that type of relationship growing up, and it was that way throughout the whole family. There was never any big arguments or fights or anything. Everybody just always got along, and it's amazing even today. A lot of my cousins still live in Beaver County, my brothers and sisters, and they get together for reunions and different things. Even just a couple of weeks ago, my brother got married, and there was a lot of cousins there, and it was great seeing them all and seeing how everybody's doing and stuff, and everybody's getting along great, and but it just it's kind of with the passing of my Aunt Egg, because she was the remaining member in my mother's family there. My mother died several years ago, and so she's kind of like the last link, and it's kind of the end of an era, because we all know in this day and age that first of all, you don't have the big families that you used to have. Second of all, families, everybody's split up, everybody's moving here, relocating, and it's just hard. It's just so much harder to try and keep families together in this day and age. And really, I think that something is kind of missed in this, and I kind of feel sorry for, I feel sorry for my kids that they really didn't have this kind of extended family, and didn't have somebody maybe like a Aunt Egg or an Uncle Jim around to kind of help them out like they helped me out. So just wanted to say thanks, and hopefully maybe folks out there can relate to this and kind of know what I'm talking about. So we're going to take a break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
At theheraldstandard.com, our mission is to provide news, information, and services to enable our communities to prosper. Every day, we strive to achieve this goal through 3 dynamic products. Wake up each morning to a copy of the Herald-Standard.com newspaper delivered to your home. Enjoy the e-edition and exact replica of our print product on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Or secure unlimited access to our full-coverage digital news site online at heraldstandard.com. One local news leader, 3 great options.
Okay, just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions for me, please email mokeefe@heraldstandard.com, or you can mail it to 8-18 Church Street, Uniontown, PA 15401. Look forward to hearing what you have to say, and just remember, if you are, we'll certainly welcome all your letters, and just remember to put a phone number on there so we can verify it. So look forward to hearing what you have to say, and I want to thank you for watching. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm Executive Editor for Herald-Standard.com. We'll see you later.